Teams making their way out onto the pitch for round 4 of NPL Victoria Women's. Bayside United against South Melbourne. We are not far away from kickoff. So, welcome to this round 4 match. It is South Melbourne visiting Bayside United. South Melbourne coming off a pretty amazing 5-0 loss to FE Emerging on Monday night. They'll be looking to bounce back, while Bayside are just trying to get their first points of the season and break this 3-game losing streak that they have opened up with. Let's take a look at the teams. For the home side, Bayside United, Lauren Farrugia, their goalkeeper, 2 Molly Burke, 7 Kirsty Shearing, 8 Sienna Fogarty, 9 Rachel Sturton, 10 Amanda Stevenson, 11 Molly Mae Ramsey, 15 Neve McClure, 19 Neve Griffin, 22 Anissa Kaletsis, and 31 is Jasmina Kane Edwards. And for South Melbourne in the blue, for those of you not familiar, their goalkeeper Melissa Barbieri, 2 Sophie Papatsanis, 4 Jana Lawson, 5 Amy Medwin, 8 Sophia Sakalis, 9 Lucy Johnson, 10 Natalie Martineau, 11 Kat Goff, 16 Zoe Haraxis, 17 starting today Kiara Hronopoulos, and number 20 Caitlin Pickett. See, the referee today is Caitlin Williams, and the 2 captains Molly Burke and Natalie Martineau meeting mid-pitch. On the bench, and there is a big in on the bench, Melina Ayres is back for South Melbourne, but she's starting among the subs. Freya Crocker, Mariam Anvari, Julia Budiongo and Alyssa Branson, while for Bayside, their bench also has a new arrival, Jacqueline Lemieux coming across from FE Emerging, Jessie Katsikas, Anna Duong, Tash Rieri and Mel Martinez. So expectations would be pretty high for South coming into this. And perhaps most worryingly, they have every incentive to repair their goal difference. So Bayside, let's see if they can batten down the hatches. And who knows, maybe try to spring a surprise of some sort. It would be, and I hate to talk about gambling, but very long odds, both figuratively and literally, for Bayside to get something out of today's game. But we'll wait and see if there's any residual impact from the way South Melbourne were beaten by FE Emerging on Monday night, or whether they click back into gear and look a bit more like the team that scored 10 goals through their first 2 games of the season. Sunny and very warm day, high 20s this afternoon for a 3:30 p.m. Melbourne kickoff. Barely a breath of wind as well, and everyone shielding their eyes from the sun as they look over to the far side of the ground. It's going to be Bayside to kick off, attacking the golf course end here in the first half of this NPLW Victoria match. Bayside against South Melbourne. Can Bayside end their losing streak? Can South Melbourne get back on the winners list as we get underway? And straight away, Jana Lawson wins possession for Caitlin Pickett. And Natalie Martineau is off on a run, able to hit the byline and put it into the box. Danger here, and almost a first-minute goal. Caitlin Pickett is denied by a good save from Lauren Farrugia. And if that is a statement of intent from South Melbourne, then Bayside have to be careful. That was nearly a goal in the first 15 seconds. And we know South Melbourne are fast starters. They scored in the first 20 seconds of the season opener, and then after 5 minutes in round 2, Sophia Sakalis taking a short corner here. Now Kiara Hronopoulos turns onto her left foot, trying to drive it from distance. Still plenty of numbers forward for South. Amy Medwin can't dink it to her own advantage, and so the clearance comes away from Neve Griffin. Medwin is going to win the ball back, and then Molly Mae Ramsey drives it out into the crowd. Modest crowd of about 50 here on this Sunday afternoon. Of course, one of those 50 crowd, the very vocal singing South fan, he doesn't miss a game, and he's hopefully going to give us a bit of an atmosphere today. You see Ollie Farrugia, the goalkeeper, having to shield her eyes from the sun as she plays it out to the left side. Bayside trying to build. Stevenson was knocked off the ball, and so Shearing is trying to backtrack. Pickett attempting to step inside. Ball goes out for a South Melbourne throw. Melissa Barbieri, the South goalkeeper, full of talk to try and set the tone in this one. Almost like an on-field coach at the moment, Bubs. Long ball from right back. Kat Goff arriving late, goalkeeper's ball. So out come Bayside, looking to build through the right. Ramsey, former South Melbourne player, of course, was a goalkeeper for them back when they won the title in 2017. Bayside looking confident enough on the ball, and they're able to play their way out of a jam. Molly Burke escaping out the left. And Stevenson keeps it moving to Sturton. So Rachel Sturton advancing forward for Bayside. Not many numbers to aim for, so she goes back to Fogarty. Shouts for offside, and the flag does go up against Amanda Stevenson, who gets caught out on that occasion. So the attack comes to an end for Bayside. Play allowed to continue amid shouts of handball. Shearing out into space, asking a bit too much for any of the runners to get onto the ball, and so Barbieri will come out and collect. Of course, it is a big field, the grass pitch here at Kingston Heath, so a team committed to exploiting space should be able to do so. Sophia Sakalis, now Amy Medwin. Pickett comes in and takes the ball off Fogarty. Sakalis looking to drive forward. Has options here, thinking about the crossfield switch, and was hoping for Jana Lawson, but Molly Burke was in the way. Pickett now plays it to Lucy Johnson. And two Tasmanians combined, Johnson and Medwin. And Medwin attempting to find Lawson. And right after I mentioned the size of the pitch, perhaps a little deceptive there as the attempts to drive it across to Jana Lawson's corner both came up short. Martineau. Caitlin Pickett turning on the ball. In traffic, lots of orange shirts blocking the passage to goal. Martineau unleashes a shot, and even though the sun was in the eyes, Lauren Farrugia holds that one and is able to make the stop. Long clearance, but Rachel Sturton's a lone hand up top at the moment, and the ball is comfortably cleared away. Interesting to see Chiara Hronopoulos starting at centre-back this week. Definitely not a position she played in her youth football with the NTC, so South Melbourne obviously saw something in the second half after they subbed her on last Monday to want to keep her there. Bayside really aren't committing many numbers forward when they attack, so it's going to have to be a bit of a solo special if they're going to unlock this South defence. Molly May Ramsey will be hoping for the right ball here. And that cross is too close to the keeper as it just drifts down into easy collection territory. Bouncing out to Lawson. Lawson drifting central. Knew where Martineau was. Now Johnson offering support. Melissa Barbieri shouts about the overlap, and that's exactly where Caitlin Pickett is going to run, and Molly Burke is sticking to task. Interesting that South Melbourne, they're hugging the right side, but that's probably where Bayside have their best defender in Burke, and so she's stuck to her task through these opening attacks. Ticked up to 6 minutes now, scoreless in this first half. Of course, if you are watching, you'll have the clock going in the corner as well. Here's the corner then. It bounces past Sakalis. Zoe Haraxis with a shot. Defender getting forward. It hasn't been cleared convincingly. And so now Papatsanis will drive it in and across the face. And that would have been an unexpected first goal scorer if the right back, Sophie Papatsanis, had been able to find the corner there. Instead, it goes just wide. Of course, it is Greek Easter this weekend, so Christos Anesti to any South Melbourne fans who are with family today and couldn't make it out to the game, but hopefully you are enjoying the coverage. Now down the left side go Bayside. Stevenson to Sturton, who showed good strength to outmuscle Haraxis on the ball. Still going, Rachel Sturton into the box, and arriving late, the shot swept across the face. And that is the best attack of the game from Bayside so far. And Amanda Stevenson might have expected more from that shot. Well, Bayside showing that they are going to maybe cause some headaches for South Melbourne there. Good persistence. And also showing they didn't need to commit too many numbers forward. It really was Sturton and Stevenson working in tandem there to try and get the opening goal. South Melbourne on notice as Kat Goff goes sprinting but can't get to the ball before Faruja clears away. Now Medwin charging through. Thought she might have been leaving the ball for Martineau there, but Martineau must have thought Medwin was going to continue her run. Sienna Fogarty won't mind as she intervenes. Long ball finds its way down to Melissa Barbieri. South Melbourne reset. Shouted Cat before she unleashed that pass, and Kat Goff on a very wide running arc in from the left side, and she didn't time it either, offside. So Bayside will restart from a defensive position. Very high offside. Goff flagged barely a couple of strides into the attacking half there. So restart now. It's as many Bayside shirts as we've seen forward all day. Stevenson can't take the ball with her though. Papatsanis breaks out to the right. And Sophie Papatsanis being chased here by Stevenson. But ran out of room, so South Melbourne get the throw over on the left side as they attack. Plane goes overhead here in Cheltenham, in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne. If you're watching from interstate, of course, this ground hosted many an FA Cup tie over the years, so it's managed to build its national profile, perhaps most famously Bentley Greens beating the Wellington Phoenix here. And it has hosted a couple of W League games over the journey as well, including Melbourne City last summer when they beat Perth. Here goes Jana Lawson, showing her speed, makes the cross, and you hear a cry of frustration coming from Lawson as she didn't quite hit it right, and so it's swept upon by Faruja, who's been busy but capable early. And now Burke shouting up the pitch to the Bayside players. And not happy with that pass of the ball is Jasmina Kane-Edwards, one of the recruits for Bayside United coming from Croydon City Arrows in the state leagues. Got a great reputation in women's football, Croydon City, both developing top players, but also just as a club in their own right. Who knows, now that the door of promotion is open to NPL Victoria Women's, in 4 or 5 years we might see Croydon City push up into the top flight themselves. Here's a pass from Hernopoulos. Knew that Goff was going to be wide, and even though Goff is quick, she's not quick enough to chase that one down, and it goes out for a throw. Kat Goff, who I'm sure is determined to recapture some of the form that she had in round one, where she scored a hat-trick. It hasn't revisited her since. Had a couple of quiet games against Calder, and then I think every South player had a quiet game against FE Emerging, except maybe for their goalkeeper, who had a heap of work to do. Pickett, kind recipient of a deflection. South trying to create an overload on the right. Lawson to Papatsanis. She's had one-sider here. Papatsanis gets forward again, and this time stopped in her tracks. And that is good defending by the backtracking Stevenson to keep Bayside safe. Throw-in taken by Lawson. And put behind by Koletsis for a South Melbourne corner. And I imagine Anissa Koletsis here will turn around and be looking to mark some of the more threatening aerial options for South Melbourne. Goff is the tallest. Here comes the corner then. Papatsanis lands that on the roof of the net. So the corner goes awry. And on the list of priorities today for Bayside, not conceding early would have been one of them. Well, they've made it through 12 minutes so far without conceding a goal. So give them a tick for that. South Melbourne, who would have been hoping to break the shackles, haven't been able to find the back of the net just yet. Burke has the ball taken off her here by Lawson, who again drifts central, and Sakalis was hiding behind the referee. Now twists and turns on the ball. Gust of wind springs up here at Kingston Heath, and Lucy Johnson is going to try and make the most of it. That had some interesting trajectory on it, but out it goes for a goal kick. Lucy Johnson, who's not afraid of a long shot. And a wily veteran like Lauren Farrugia has seen it all before, so wasn't going to be beaten by that attempt. The Singing South fan has found his voice again, trying to urge the visitors on, and Nat Martineau wins possession here. Lawson to Johnson, and now Martineau, nice little triangle, got free space to send a cross in, but that one is shanked out for a corner kick. It's definitely not the clearance that Niamh McClure was hoping for there when she put the left foot through the ball, but South Melbourne, the last corner, if that was anything to go by. Papatsanis needs to fix her radar and try to hone this one in. As the sun just eases up, no one's going to have to shield their eyes now as this corner comes in to the pack of players. Good header away by Sienna Fogarty. Lucy Johnson back out to Papatsanis. Is going to send in the second time ball over the head of all in the penalty area, and Ramsey will chase it out the back. Hasn't got much by way of support here, Molly May, so he's going to just prod it down the line. Griffin keeps it moving. And now Medwin, blocked by Niamh Griffin, who wins the throw. Good to see Niamh Griffin back playing. Even though the 2020 season was cancelled, she actually was unlucky enough to break her leg in a pre-season game, so she would have missed all of 2020, COVID or not. Great to see her back. Here's Fogarty out into space, and Ramsey could be in behind here, but Chiara Hronopoulos is quick. And then decision time is able to win a throw. So Ramsey, if nothing else, traps the ball down and attack for Bayside, but got to see there maybe why Chiara Hronopoulos has been chosen to play centre-back today. Throw in for South then. Goff. Block tackle from Ramsey. Now Medwin. Pickett. Not able to feed it into the path of the running Goff, and so Griffin is going to have to backtrack here and go and retrieve the ball. That back pass not providing a great deal of help. Farrugia. Intercepted. Lawson. This is danger now for Bayside. Jana Lawson trying to return it with interest. Lucy Johnson at the top of the box and overhit the shot. Always rising and out for a goal kick. And Bayside, who've been compact, who've defended well, that would have been a bit of a heartbreaker had they conceded from that giveaway. So a let-off there, and Lucy Johnson has had a couple of siders. Flick header from Fogarty out into space. Haraxis had to get a good touch on it. Barbieri, keeper sweeper, making sure Sturton didn't get a run at the ball. And now pressing all the way up to the goalkeeper, and Farrugia, another awkward clearance. This time prods it past Goff. Niamh McClure against the line. Bayside throw. Fogarty trying to keep it moving, but just gives possession straight back to South. off the head of McClure, and Goff is happy to see that roll out for another corner. So South have had a couple. This time they get to see what Sakalis can do from the left side. So here's the corner then from Sakalis. Bayside have set up a zone defensive system here as they watch the ball sail in. Goff got the header, and it wasn't goal bound, just sliding wide of the far post out for a goal kick. Interesting that they did set up the zonal marking there, Bayside, rather than man marking. South didn't have many or really any players forward for the corner though, so not sure what the thinking was behind that one. Bayside dicing with danger here as they pass it around inside their penalty area, and then eventually they just go aerial to get over the South Melbourne press. Chronopoulos loses possession, but Johnson is there to help out. Now Lawson. Papatsanis on the overlap, bombing forward once again. This time chops it in, goes back to Lawson. Very crowded penalty area. Jana Lawson is going to try and take on the game solo here, and when it came to turn and swivel, the cross was blocked out straight away by McClure for another South Melbourne corner. That's 5 by my count in this first half. We've only played 19 minutes. So they mix it up from the corner. Lucy Johnson is now going to swing it in. Medwin with a glancing header. Martineau's there, and the referee's whistle will mean that it is offside. The flag goes up, and even though it did end up in the back of the net, the goal will not count, and no protests either from South Melbourne. They had a number of players there all trying to steer it in. Let off for Bayside. Goff is going to elevate a left-footed cross. That one too close to the keeper, catching it right next to the post. Fogarty to Burke. And now McClure having to swivel onto her right foot and gives possession away. Bayside inviting pressure on their own worst enemy at the moment. Sakalis thinking about a long shot maybe. Decides to send it out to the right, and Lawson, well, that's almost unforgivable looking across the line of defenders, getting trapped offside there. Perfect conditions now that the sun has just ducked behind a cloud. And Bayside, it's not like they're clinging on, but it definitely feels like South are on top. Bayside would love a little phase of attack here, just to remind South that they are a danger themselves. Rachel Sturton is going to take on Chronopoulos, and Trugger. Sturton's in here for Bayside, and Medwin getting back in time to block the shot. Melissa Barbieri will be happy about the hustle from Amy Medwin coming across from left back. But again, on the break over the top, Bayside countering. They have a little bit about them today. South Melbourne through Pickett. Bit of space to exploit this time. Only Goff in the penalty area, and Pickett too much on that. Powers it past Goff. And so Bayside will take possession through Ramsey. Sturton holds up the ball. Oh, Burke, almost too clever by half, able to retain possession under the challenge of Lawson. Now trying to send it into the path of Stevenson, but Papatsanis is backtracking. This is exactly what Bayside needed, just even a minute or so of attacking play themselves to give their defence a bit of a mental break from the threat that South Melbourne poses. Goff. And this pass is going to draw Farrugia out of her line. And a well-struck clearance. Martineau wins the header. Shearing. Kane Edwards. And Haraxis up for the header this time, out into the path of Sakalis. Jana Lawson. And accelerating Lawson, able to get past Burke. How good's the cross? It flashes through the penalty area. Caitlin Pickett not arriving in time at the near post. And Bayside, Ramsey can't control that pass. It's out for a South Melbourne throw. Pickett able to keep the ball in the challenge of Fogarty. South Melbourne distribute out to the right. Sakalis, Johnson, and Burke. Easy clearance straight into the south bench. Samuel Young, their coach. Opposite number Terry Tynan over on the Bayside bench. Lawson again, main attacking weapon for South Melbourne at the moment. And this cross is causing problems. Pickett with a little nod. Not enough power behind it. Always difficult to generate the force from a ball like that. Martineau. And that pass, a little bit directionless, will be swept upon by McClure. Johnson plays it out into space for Medwin. Medwin one-on-one against Griffin. Plays it to Hronopoulos, the centre-back getting forward here. Hronopoulos fancies the shot and almost raising the hand in apology there after just dumping it into the arms of Ollie Farrugia. Bouncing ball. And awkward to deal with. Haraxis appeared to grab Stevenson. Sturton is in again for Bayside. How's the finish this time? Barbieri makes the save. And almost a little hurry there. Rachel Sturton could sense the defenders charging from behind. Melissa Barbieri coming out of her line. And I tell you what, Zoe Haraxis might count herself lucky that the referees let her off there. Down the other end, Caitlin Pickett. And with the goalkeeper in no man's land, Pickett had a decent chance there for South Melbourne to score on the quick counter. Opportunities at both ends. Watching back on the stream, gee, Haraxis really does grab Amanda Stevenson on the shoulder there. If Stevenson, dare I say, went to ground, they had a decent shout for a red card there. Instead, no foul, play on. Stevenson, just too fair a player. Ball's there to be won in midfield. Sturton charging in and takes possession. Plays it out in front of Stevenson, who won't get to the ball ahead of Haraxis this time. And Zoe Haraxis repelling for South Melbourne. Puts it out in front of Lawson. Lawson from the byline. And it beats all in the penalty area. Griffin with an awkward attempt to clear. Didn't make contact with the ball. Johnson now wheeling onto her right side. Loading up the cross. Pickett brings it down. And leaves it for Goff on her non-preferred right foot. And that's why, as it goes out for a goal kick. Shallow goal kick is going to force Bayside straight back onto defensive duty, and this time there is a foul. Martineau, Sakalis. Goff's pass runs on to Papatsanis, and then just a no-nonsense attempt at a clearance from Shearing, but didn't get any distance. Martineau. And Shearing this time, Kane Edwards. They can't string passes together, Bayside, so they've got issues here. This time it's McClure's turn to try and clear the lines. Finds Stevenson. She goes back to McClure and then Farrugia. Oh, she's picked out Jenna Lawson a couple of times with clearances, Farrugia, so almost needs to start thinking about the other side of the pitch. I wonder if both teams are hugging the out of sight to our camera position because they're within earshot of both the benches. Players can subconsciously do that at this level. Sometimes they do it deliberately. Lawson. Jenna Lawson from the left foot this time. Pickett can't make contact with the header though. And running through the box, Goff. And Goff's cross shanked by Fogarty. Burke with a header. It's only going to just escape the penalty area briefly as Lucy Johnson takes over. Has Lawson wide on the right. Just waiting on making a decision here, Lucy Johnson. Eventually tried to hit the byline herself. And the ball eventually goes out for a goal kick. So well defended by Molly Burke. And Bayside again able to withstand a couple of waves of South Melbourne attacking. Griffin hurried into the pass. Hronopoulos. Now Haraxis. Fogarty. Sturton. McClure. Decision time to Stevenson. Tried to flick it onto her own advantage, but Papatsanis was having none of it. Plays it back to Hronopoulos. Now Medwin. Haven't seen the ball down this flank for a couple of minutes, so Medwin tries to play it to Pickett, who's going to turn in and shrug Shearing and return it to Medwin. Great run from the left back. It's Amy Medwin in on goal and scoring for South Melbourne. Great run from Amy Medwin, and she breaks the deadlock at almost half an hour to the second. It's South Melbourne 1, Bayside 0. And muted celebrations perhaps from South Melbourne, but it was a very well-worked goal. And interestingly, the ball hadn't been down the left flank for South Melbourne for a number of minutes, so Amy Medwin may be recharging the legs to go on that ranging run all the way down to score, and not much the goalkeeper could do about it after she was played in by that very nice 1-2. Bayside looking for the instant reply. Barbieri has missed the ball. Amazing. Sturton's in. And a little gift. Bayside a level in the blink of an eye. Rachel Sturton makes it 1-1. And after South Melbourne toiled for half an hour to break the deadlock, Bayside are level instantly. And Rachel Sturton will not mind if they are offered up like that. Absolutely gift-wrapped. And so the game is level. And South Melbourne have to go back to the drawing board and start again. Bayside, maybe that'll lift them. Just a bit of belief from being able to score a goal against South Melbourne. They have been able to score goals this year, but as we see Goff, maybe this is going to really open the game up now. And the clearance is away by Burke. Out for a throw. Might also be that the wind is coming through. It's a little bit cooler now, so both teams might feel a bit less inclined to play with the handbrake on. It really was an extraordinary way to give up a goal for South, but Bayside won't care. They've created chances of their own in this one. And now Lawson, as we've seen so many times, getting through the right and awake to the danger. Fogarty puts it behind for a corner kick. So the corner goes short to Johnson. And Johnson apologising as soon as the ball exploded off the boot and went straight out for a goal kick. And just looking back at the stream, on that Sturton goal, got to give the credit to the centre-back, Neve McClure, for the assist, even though Melissa Barbieri may have missed the ball. It was McClure's pass that was well-timed, Sturton eventually running onto it. And here is the goal scorer for Bayside. Only Stevenson ahead of the ball here. And so feeding it out to the left. Look at this, Bayside. You can see the confidence because they're getting a few more numbers forward here. Stevenson tries to lift it in, and Haraxis' header. Barbieri won't get there, and it is out for a corner kick. Ushered over the line by the Bayside number 9, Sturton, who will go and take up position in the penalty area here. And who knows, maybe Bayside can take the lead. They have committed plenty forward for this corner here. Sienna Fogarty perhaps the obvious aerial target. Here comes the corner kick then. It's going to tumble in at the near post. Shouts for handball, and the referee, extraordinary, is pointing to the penalty spot. And Sienna Fogarty takes the ball and will go and place it on the spot and try to give Bayside the lead. Tell you what, it wasn't a great corner, but if it's able to win you a handball, then, well, if the first one was a gift, this one is slightly down the tier list of gifts, but still, can Fogarty capitalise against Melissa Barbieri? Here's the penalty, and it's saved. Melissa Barbieri read that one. It was not forcefully hit. And Bubs down to her right, making a good stop, and what a let-off for South Melbourne, as Fogarty can't convert. They're still getting possession back, though. They want to keep attacking while they've got a bit of momentum here. Haraxis. And now the backtracking Stevenson. Up comes McClure, and now that means Bayside will be one short with one of their defenders committed up the pitch. Lawson out into the path of Pickett, and Farrugia is there, able to eventually get out to the feet of the attacker and take the ball. Long ball here. Barbieri's come out. We've seen it go wrong once today, but this time a solidly met left-footed clearance. Lawson cutting it back, and the tap in. South Melbourne restore their lead through Caitlin Pickett. And Jana Lawson, who has had free rein down the right flank in this first half, eventually makes Bayside pay. And it could only go on for so long without a goal ending up in the back of the net. Pickett with an easy tap in. And Bayside left to lament that penalty that was saved as South Melbourne punish them and go in front 2-1 almost straight away. Well, this game has really sprung to life after the first South Melbourne goal. And now a miss from Haraxis. Stevenson might be in. Can Bayside equalise straight away again? Martineau able to calm things down and get it back to Barbieri. And now Lawson, fresh off, giving the assist to Pickett a moment ago. Johnson sees Goff breaking through a central left position. Cat Goff onto the ball. Only the one defender chasing her, and Goff into the side netting. And it is going to be a corner. It got a touch from the keeper. Just to guarantee that it went wide, although I suspect it might have been missing straight off the boot regardless. Just looking back at the replay of the stream, it was Sophie Papatsanis who gave away the handball on that corner kick, so it's a moot point now because Melissa Barbieri came through with the save. And South Melbourne, in the blink of an eye, are trying to take a 3-1 lead here with this corner. Here's Sakalis then, driving it to the top of the box, not really to anyone's advantage. Kirsty Shearing takes possession, looks up and sees absolutely no one ahead of the ball, and so has to bide her time and then wins a foul for her trouble. Neve Griffin to take the free kick then. Just bombing it down the right line, and Medwin gets the header back. Goff, Sakalis, Johnson. And again, Jana Lawson with free rein to run onto the ball down that right side. Last time this happened, she gave an assist. What's going to happen this time? Johnson curving and hitting the woodwork. Can't get much closer than that. It was nearly a super goal from Lucy Johnson. Nearly another assist for Jana Lawson. Lawson loads up once more, skips past McClure. And this time lifting it towards Pickett, header away by Fogarty. And again, as Sturton takes possession, she's the most advanced Bayside player here. So not much to run towards. Amy Medwin making a presence and is able to win a throw for South. Ball bouncing into the box. Burke able to deal with it to an extent, steering that clearance out for a throw. Ramsey taking possession, but Medwin was a presence that was hard to get past. The throw will allow Bayside to at least advance their midfield up the pitch. Lots of chat going on with South about who's marking who as the throw-in comes in to Kane Edwards. She plays it back to McClure, lifting a clearance. Martineau's header, Shearing is there. Now Ramsey up to Sturton. Leaves it for Shearing and just knocking it on to no one in particular. Shearing's going to chase her own ball there. Johnson, bit of pressure on from Bayside and it quickly dissipates. Lawson to Papatsanis, full of running. And then not on the same wavelength as she went for the return ball, but Caitlin Pickett is going to backtrack and make it a completed pass. And Pickett twisting it out to Lawson on the right side. And a loose first touch will invite the goalkeeper in. So booted high by Farrugia. Martineau wins the header. Johnson is just going to load up and shoot from distance. And not for the first time today. Lucy Johnson has bombed it out for a goal kick. So amazing to think that only 10 minutes ago this game was still 0-0. It really has sprung to life. South Melbourne now holding a 2-1 lead. Bayside missing a penalty when the score was 1-1. Lawson running away from Fogarty. Jana Lawson and off the defender. Goff was trying to get any sort of contact on the ball. Instead, stooping into it was Neve Griffin, and it turned out to be an effective clearance. Shearing hits it long. Medwin can't take clean possession. Haraxis is back. And Sturton trying to press all the way up to the goalkeeper, but Melissa Barbieri a bit too experienced and clever for that. Now Haraxis. Sakalis, twisting and turning, and able to open up the pitch. And again, Lawson just brought her own ball to this game and her own patch of turf as well. Sends it an early cross this time, and the clearance is away from McClure. South Melbourne just a magnet to this right side of the pitch every time they go forward. They've barely thought about attacking through Kat Goff's wing. It's all going down the right side, and Jana Lawson at the moment as halftime rapidly approaches. Pickett. Her goal puts South Melbourne into the lead. She's looking for another one here, and the defence opened up for her, but the finish was lacking. And just when it looked like Caitlin Pickett had done the hard work, the shot didn't match the run. 2.5 minutes of regulation to go in this first half. Shearing. Griffin. Medwin has the sit, and Trinopoulos will take over from the back pass. Pickett. Oh, that's a nice pass. Johnson, can she get there before the keeper? No. Good goalkeeping from Farrugia. Saw the danger and got out to the edge of the box in the nick of time. Martineau now to Goff. South Melbourne asking more questions of this Bayside defence, but Molly Burke this time makes the stop. Stevenson to Burke. Martineau's pass. Oh, not the most convincing interception by Kaletsis, and after Lawson was closing in, managed to scramble it to the safety of the touchline. Kaletsis. And the ball goes out for a Bayside throw. Can they muster up one more meaningful attack in the last minute of regulation in this first half? Not sure there'll be a need for stoppage. It's been a fairly free-flowing game. Good pass from Sturton. Ramsey is now one-on-one against Medwin, and not the greatest amount of conviction in the shot there. Really just steering it across the face rather than a full-blooded strike. And maybe a better chance than it looked there. I must admit, I thought Ramsey might have been offside from the pass, but the flag didn't go up, and so on she went. And that was the chance in the last minute there for Bayside United. We're going to get one additional minute of stoppage as well to finish the first half. So, still time yet for either team to change the state of the game. 2-1 in favour of South at present. Goff to Johnson, and now Medwin. Not going to get to the ball. Yes, she is. A miss from McClure. Lets Medwin in. Last time she got forward, she scored. Medwin might repeat the dose here, and it's a good save. Farrugia one-on-one, denying Amy Medwin her second goal of the game. And the ball goes out for a corner. Well, I wonder, once that interception was missed by McClure, maybe Medwin was more likely to score than not. You've got to give credit to the goalkeeper there for coming up with a very important save. Bayside holding on for the last 20 seconds of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Sakalis with the corner. First head was from Haraxis, but didn't know a great deal about it as Sienna Fogarty clears. And is Papatsanis going to keep it in? She is. So South Melbourne stay on the attack. Stoppage time has expired. How generous is the referee feeling? Doesn't reach for the whistle just yet. South Melbourne, if they turn an attack, no, they don't. And so the referee says enough's enough. That's half time. And for the first 30 minutes, it was a bit of a grind. South Melbourne were testing the Bayside defence, who seemingly had the answers. But then when Amy Medwin went dashing down the left touchline, she opened the scoring for 1-0. Bayside equalised almost instantly from Rachel Sturton's goal. Then they had a penalty kick, which Sienna Fogarty shot into the outstretched arms of Melissa Barbieri. And Caitlin Pickett's tap-in means at half-time it is Bayside United 1, South Melbourne 2. You'll have the countdown graphic as your company for the half-time break. And then when we return, the live action from the second half here. Stay with us on the NPLW Victoria Facebook page and NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Welcome back to live pictures from Kingston Heath as we count down to the second half of this match between Bayside United and South Melbourne. South are back on the pitch. Bayside not too far away. Score currently 2-1 in South Melbourne's favour. South scored first when Amy Medwin ran down the left side and was able to score a good solo goal. Bayside's equaliser came almost instantly when a missed clearance from Melissa Barbieri allowed Rachel Sturton in to score into an empty net. And then Bayside had a penalty kick for a 2-1 lead, but Barbieri redeemed the error by going down to save from Sienna Fogarty. And then almost, barely 2 minutes later, it was a tap-in for Caitlin Pickett on the end of Jana Lawson's cross. And if you've missed the first half, South Melbourne have had one pretty clear tactic, and that is to just relentlessly attack down the right side of the pitch with Jana Lawson. And so that'll be on the near side to our cameras in this second half, should that pattern continue. Neither team has turned to the bench just yet. We'll wait and see if that changes. It actually started out as quite a warm, sunny day, but the sun has ducked behind a cloud, meaning it's perfect conditions here at the start of the second half. That's the Bayside huddle as they discuss their plans. They've looked good on the counter-attack. A couple of chances falling to Sturton. Amanda Stevenson had a shot that went wide as well. They certainly don't commit too many numbers forward. They really do leave it up to their attacking players to try and do the work as a unit without taking too many risks getting players up the pitch. Maybe that'll change if they are still within striking distance at the end of the game. And we're seeing one sub here for Bayside, Jacqueline Lemieux, the new arrival from the FE Emerging program. Hadn't appeared, I don't think, in the first 3 rounds of the season for FE Emerging. So she's decided to switch clubs and come across to Bayside and is going to get a bit of game time here. And it looks as though Lemieux has come on for Neve McClure, sorry, got the wrong one. Neve McClure has made way, and Lemieux appears to be going in at centre-back, which is interesting here at the start of the second half. So, teams on the pitch as we kick off the second 45. Bayside with Lauren Ferrugia in goal. Molly Burke, who we've just seen there fall over the ball at left back for Bayside. Centre backs Anissa Kaletsis and Jacqueline Lemieux. Right back Neve Griffin. Midfield Kirsty Shearing, Sienna Fogarty and Jasmina Kane-Edwards. And their forward trio, we'll come back to that in a moment as we see this cross easily held onto. Actually, it's more of a 4-4-2 because they're playing Molly May Ramsey, not so much as a right wing, but a right midfielder, and then the two up front, Amanda Stevenson and Rachel Sturton. South Melbourne, by contrast, Melissa Barbieri in goal. Centre-backs, Chiara Hronopoulos and Zoe Haraxis. Sophie Papatsanis at right back, Amy Medwin at left back. Midfield players, Natalie Martineau, who's on the ball right here, Sophia Sakalis and Lucy Johnson, and then their front trio, Jana Lawson, who is on the ball now, Caitlin Pickett and Catherine Goff. Martineau plays it to Lawson. And now we're going to get right under our cameras a look at this battle that occupied us for so much of the first half. They've moved Molly Burke over to Lawson's flank, but they're not able to stop her here. Pickett trying for the tap-in, and it takes a deflection off Griffin. And that combination which puts South Melbourne into the lead in the first half, linking up once again, but this time the result is just a corner kick. Sophia Sakalis taking the corner as South Melbourne are now attacking the golf course end here at Kingston Heath. And it's a free header for Lawson, but can't do much with it as it slides through the penalty area. Goff back to Papatsanis. Now Chiara Hronopoulos. Zoe Haraxis to Sakalis in the pocket, bit of space to work. Sakalis lifts the eyes and plays it out to Catherine Goff. Her first trip over to the right flank today. Plays it into the box, and Pickett has it cleared off her feet by Stevenson, but only as far as Medwin. As Medwin, with a clever little back heel, knew exactly where Lucy Johnson was, and now Martineau to Johnson to Medwin. And the build-up play continues. And this time, Ramsey is in to take the ball off Martineau's feet. Sturton trapped in a 1-on-2. Ball squeezes out as far as Fogarty, and now Shearing can play it out to Stevenson. There's absolutely nothing going on ahead of the ball, though, so Bayside have got to get runners forward in support. Kane Edwards was one of them, but she loses possession, and away comes South. Sakalis, and Burke is going to have to backtrack at pace here because Lawson is almost in behind, and no one home for South Melbourne. Not the most convincing clearance by Griffin, and it's going straight back to the danger woman in Lawson. So Lawson drops the shoulder and takes on Burke once again in at the near post, and good hands from Farrugia because there were South Melbourne players waiting in the 6-yard box. So South have started fast in the second half, trying to double their lead. Maybe set up a buffer. Bayside have not picked up a point yet this season. They lost in round 1 to Box Hill, round 2 to Calder, and round 3 to Alamein. So right now they're desperate. Oh, that's a hard foul from Shearing. Missed the ball, wiped out Sakalis. And it is just Sophia Sakalis' second game back from an ACL injury. She came off the bench against FE Emerging last week, so her first start. We'll see how many minutes she's got. And she's going to stand over this free kick. Don't rule out the direct shot on goal here, but the way Lauren Farrugia is setting only 2 in the wall, you'd suggest maybe that a ball to the pack of players is more likely. So Sakalis' free kick is going to drift it to the penalty spot, pick it up for the header, and at ground level, it squeezes out straight to the goalkeeper in Farrugia. No South Melbourne player able to get a meaningful shot away. Farrugia just taking the full time allocation to cool things down, and puts it onto the boot of Chiara Hronopoulos. Now Stevenson against Papatsanis, and well played Papatsanis to win a throw at the last second. Burke able to dispossess Lawson. That's what Bayside will be hoping to see a lot more of in this second half. Haraxis. Medwin flying through and able to keep possession as well. Trying to launch an attack. Deflects to Sakalis, and now Lawson waiting for the ball to arrive. Edge of the box. Jana Lawson steers it back to Medwin, taking the shot, and that one wasn't close, always breaking the wrong way and had no curve on it back towards the target. It goes out for a goal kick. Burke. Interception by Papatsanis. Fogarty. Sturton. Still working in the defensive half, Bayside, trying to find a way forward. Out into space and overhit the ball. Ramsey can't run it down. South Melbourne happy to walk down to take this throw. Johnson. Hronopoulos. Now Martineau back to Sakalis. And Lawson, as ever, the outlet over on the right side. Breaks to the right and able to outrun Burke. There was a little grab of the shirt there. And Lawson protesting to the referee who wasn't interested. We saw it. The referee maybe didn't. And so it's going to be a corner kick. So Papatsanis to take the corner from the right side. And you heard the shout from the goalkeeper. No South Melbourne players contesting that one at all. Easy pickings for Farrugia. Griffin. Attempt to drive it down the line was blocked, but Shearing was in the right place, and Griffin denied again. Caitlin Pickett proving a difficult obstacle to get past. Chronopoulos. Papatsanis. Goff struggling to bring the ball under her control. Eventually does, and Medwin on the overlap is trying to break through the left. Not much in the box to aim for. Only Lawson at the far post. Medwin lifts it high, and Burke had no choice perhaps other than to knock it out for yet another corner. Let's see if South Melbourne attack this one a little bit more aggressively, though. Papatsanis waiting over the corner, perhaps seeing if the short option is on. And eventually now goes and steps out a run-up. And a conventional delivery. And this time Farrugia has to go for the punch. Martineau, so many shirts between the ball and the goal. And Fogarty can't get beaten on this occasion. And good challenge coming in from Kane Edwards as well. But it's going to spill to Johnson. South Melbourne get another opportunity to swing it in. Lemieux with the clearance this time. And now Johnson again loads up the cross. Fogarty, shallow clearance, and Pickett popping it straight back out into the fence behind the goal. And so that one, not the most convincing bit of attacking or defending. South Melbourne seemingly happy just to try and keep the ball trapped down there without any real purpose. And Bayside struggled to clear their lines. Eventually the high shot will get them out of trouble. Lemieux goes for a run. And the pass beats almost everyone. Haraxis at the centre of defence for South. Tailing back and playing it to Barbieri. Chronopoulos. Goff. Able to turn past the challenge of Griffin. She's off and running. Pickett tries to send the return pass, but the Bayside defence, Coletsis in a good position, able to stop Goff in her tracks. And now Ramsey to Griffin. Fogarty flicks it on. And this is where it breaks down for Bayside. They are almost trapped in a half-field game at the moment. We haven't seen an attack of any real purpose or intention in this second half so far from the home team. It's all the focus on defending at present. Almost 12 minutes into this second half as well. Looks like Melina Reyes is warming up next to the fourth official. So South Melbourne are going to bring on their ace. Perhaps at the next break in play, can Jana Lawson welcome her with a goal? Lawson onto the left side. Not a great deal of power behind the shot. And now a chance for Bayside to escape and construct something. And Kane Edwards just didn't have the juice to go chasing after that pass. Medwin onto the ball and South Melbourne take over once again. Kane Edwards this time in a bit more of a grapple with Sakalis. Burke. Shearing. And intercepted by Haraxis. Lawson. Out into the path of Pickett. And Pickett hits the byline. Defended by Colette's had to be sharp as well, not to commit a handball. And now Kirsty Shearing. It's just continuous defending here for Bayside. Can they break the shackles and launch a counter-attack here? Ramsey down the right side. Has to make the right pass. Oh, and the flag goes up, and that is just a killer for Bayside as Sturton is trapped offside, and now South will make the sub. And it is a return to the NPL for Melina Ayres as she comes on for Kat Goff. And the leading scorer since the WPL became the NPLW with more than 100 goals to her name. Melina Ayres is back. And after winning the title with Melbourne Victory over summer, including scoring in the semi-final, she is now out there back at NPL level where, quite simply, she's a bit too good for this level. Really, maybe only biding her time until perhaps an overseas move or an opportunity to test herself somewhere else. But in the meantime, she's a South Melbourne player and just about as close to a guarantee of goals as you can get. Martineau. And Heraxis. Lawson and a back pass. Ayres into the action straight away and is feeding it into the path of Lucy Johnson on the right side. Johnson on the tight angle, steers it back towards Ayres. What an introduction! As easy as you like, a goal of good quality too. Melina Ayres makes it 3-1, and less than a minute after getting subbed on in her return to NPLW, she has found the back of the net. I said she's a bit too good for this level. I think that proves it to score almost straight away. And the bad news for Bayside is that they have to deal with this for another half an hour. So a substitute for Bayside United, and Jasmina Kane-Edwards, who was looking exhausted on a couple of those phases of play in the last minute or so, has been subbed out. And Jessie Kotsikis, another veteran presence, an adult player in the NPL for a number of years, and the WPL before that, comes on. Ashburton and Alamein among her previous clubs, and she's into the game here. Hopefully that'll give a bit more run in the legs of Bayside United, and they don't want to lose touch and end up getting a lopsided score, because they've given a really good account of themselves in this game so far, but there is still half an hour to go. And given the lack of attacking play that they've been able to generate in this second half, it means that South Melbourne, if they turn this into a half-field game, it really could get ugly in a hurry. Medwin, full of running and getting forward here. Ayres and Lawson, options in the box. Medwin, a raking cross. Ayres is there, and that was nearly 2 goals from 3 touches of the ball. And the header goes over the bar. Got a bit of contact from Lauren Farrugia for her trouble. So credit to the goalkeeper, made it a difficult header to win, and it goes out. And just waiting for a spare ball to make its way over from the 4th official now. Lemieux loses possession to Johnson. Lawson is there. Ayres to Johnson. Pickett trying to ghost in from the left, and Farrugia is out of her line to collect. Ramsey pops the ball to no one in particular. Heraxis goes back to Barbieri. Heraxis nearly caught in possession by Sturton. Instead, the ball goes onto the feet of Chronopoulos. Koletsis. Fogarty trying to feed it through. The sub Katsikas was chasing after the ball, but a touch from Haraxis got it back to Barbieri with a minimum of fuss. Medwin. Again, not afraid to take the game on when it's there, but that time was overcooking it a bit. She's protesting to the ref while Bayside come away with possession. And it's deflected out off Chronopoulos for a Bayside throw. Ayres. Martineau. Pickett is running onto the ball here. Has Lemieux to contend with. Caitlin Pickett, it's 2-on-2 in the area, but Lemieux means the ball that won't arrive. Good defending on that occasion. Martineau following up for South Melbourne, though. Ayres caught in possession by Shearing. Griffin. And a little deflection, but Chronopoulos dealt with the ball initially, and now it's going to break to Haraxis. South Melbourne defence staying organised. Ayres. Sakalis. Lawson was calling for the ball, but that pass a little bit too skinny, and down to the goalkeeper it goes. Katsikas with the header. Papatsanis backtracking. And caught in possession by Stevenson. Out for a throw. Looking at the benches, we haven't had too many subs so far in today's game. Bayside have still got Anna Duong, Tash Rieri and Mel Martinez. South Melbourne have Freya Crocker, who's their backup keeper, so we probably won't see her today. Mariam Anvari, Julia Budiongo and Alyssa Branson of the available subs. Fogarty takes possession for Bayside to Katsikas. Surveying the options, Katsikas. It's very crowded. And she tries to play the ball forward. Sturton nearly made it work. Now Chronopoulos misses the ball, and so Sturton might be able to take it here. And that was an attempt to shoot on sight. Never really got any purchase on it. And so Barbieri collects. Papatsanis. Ayres flicking it into the path of Johnson. And now a kick out for Lawson and Burke to go and chase after. Lawson gets to the ball. And a good slide challenge from Burke, but Lawson kept her feet and the ball. Plays it back to Johnson. Johnson asking a bit of Lawson after the running that she did on that last drive up the pitch. And unable to keep it in. Just hacking away there at Burke. And good sportsmanship to go and pick Jenna Lawson up after she'd been kicking at the shins. Kaletsis, long ball attempted. Sakalis. Referee happy to just let things slide at the moment. Bayside take possession. It looked like a foul by Shearing, but play continues. And Griffin gives up possession. Out it goes. Looks like Bayside are going to bring on Tash Rieri here. Be interesting to see who makes way. Medwin gives a cause for Pickett to go and chase, trying to work through the gears here, and she does will herself onto the ball, but slips over as she does so. Kaletsis down the line. Ramsey denied possession by Medwin. Medwin takes the throw. And that is going to be a corner kick, so nice little bonus for South Melbourne out of a pretty non-threatening situation. Game has slowed down to walking pace here as players go and very slowly set up for this corner kick. And so eventually Sophia Sakala sets the ball and we're ready to resume here. Sakalis' corner. Lawson the head up, and it goes well wide in the end. Promising as it drifted into the box, but again, high degree of difficulty to steer a header in from that sort of distance. Lemieux. Bayside holding off on the sub because they might make two at the next break in play then. Fogarty. Kotsikas, one of the subs they've already brought into the game. Plays it out in front of Stevenson. Stevenson against Haraxis, able to keep the ball. Has Kotsikas in support. She tries to drive across to the edge of the box. Fogarty would love nothing more than to make up for the penalty miss, but won't get the chance to here. Papatsanis with the intercept. And now Martineau to Lawson. And Sakalis takes over in midfield. Misses the pass, though, to Martineau. And so now Sturton. Kotsikas. Lots of shouting going on as Shearing tries to switch flanks over to Ramsey. But the pass is intercepted by Medwin, and now South are going to try and return it with interest. Ball from Johnson through the left side. Ayres steps onto it and then keeps it moving. Pickett, flag is up, offside. And even though the flag went up, the shot missed in any case. So looks like a double sub is coming up here for Bayside. And the first of the changes, Amanda Stevenson is going to come off. Definitely faded as this game has gone on, and Natasha Riri is going to come on, and the other sub, Anissa Kaletsis, is coming out of central defence, and coming on is Anna Duong. So it means that Bayside will have changed both their centre-backs in this game, having subbed out both Kaletsis and also Neve McClure. So on comes Duong, on comes Riri, a couple of the younger Bayside players. They need the fresh legs and a bit of energy here because after the third goal, safe to say South Melbourne have eased off a bit, but it could still be danger as this game wears on. Of the score blowing out, 20 minutes plus stoppage to go. Papatsanis to Martineau. Sakalis. Again, lots of talk going on, but Sakalis can't steer the pass. Duong gets her first touch. Now Lemieux. Riri, her first touch. Back at Bayside after playing for a number of different clubs around the NPL. Tash Riri. Already moving across from Box Hill this season. Now the ball out to the right. Ramsey against Medwin, who's able to prevail with the ball. And look at the burst of acceleration, but can't get past Molly Burke. Took on one player too many. So the throw in. Ayres. And the ball is knocked off her toes. And again, South Melbourne happy to just bring the game back to walking pace. They haven't really played with the sort of intent you might expect to repair that goal difference now that they've got a 2-goal buffer. happy just to let things drift at the moment. Of course, they did score 10 goals in their first 2 games, so they had a goal difference of +8 before FE Emerging put 5 of those back in the bank on Monday night. So they've still got a positive goal difference for the season, but you get the feeling that Box Hill and, with all due respect, Bayside may be on the end of some one-sided scores from the top teams. Even yesterday we saw Heidelberg United concede 5 against Calder as Nat Martineau's shift is over. She comes off and Miriam Anvari comes on. So Martineau, her 3rd game back. And 70-odd minutes once again here for one of the star players of this South Melbourne team. Really warming into the season. And speaking of stars, here's the other one, Melina Ayres. Being warned very closely by Lemieux here and twists out of 3 different Bayside players. Tried to take on the entire midfield and defence single-handedly, and Bayside had the numbers and the awareness to dispossess Ayres as soon as she took possession. Trying to get something going in attack is another story, and Griffin, leaving a leg in on Medwin here, commits the foul beyond shooting range. So it'll be a free kick for South. The lights are on here at Kingston Heath. As clouds roll in. Sophia Sakalis over this set piece. Players strewn across the top of the penalty area. Hard to know exactly what the plan is, rather than maybe just put it in the mixer. And that is what Sakalis is going to do. And first touch for Lawson. Coming through, Burke is able to read the ball best. And just clears to the safety of the touchline. Lawson's throw, Ayres. Now Lawson, bit of pinball in the penalty area, but it's cleared away in the end by Fogarty. Haraxa brought it down, had to be sharp to stop Sturton picking her pocket. And now Papatsanis gives the ball away, Duong. Sturton. Turning and rolling it back to Burke. And now Griffin. Ramsey was caught in a 1-on-2, but it will be a Bayside throw. Bayside emptying the bench here, getting another sub ready to go. Of course, you get 5 in NPLW. Lawson takes on Duong, who stuck to her task and defended her well there. And given the amount of running Jana Lawson has done, you wonder how much is left in the tank to keep sprinting down this right sideline. Given away, and now Ayres a chance to run at Burke. 1-on-1, Melina Ayres. Able to cut past and score again. 2 for Melina Ayres. And even though Molly Burke tried to corral, there was no stopping Ayres once she got a sniff of goal. That makes it 4-1. And the 3 points well and truly safe based on the way the second half has gone. Bayside haven't really created an attack of note since the halftime break, and they're going to turn to the bench again here with Kirsty Shearing coming off for Mel Martinez. And still some way from full time. 14 odd minutes plus stoppage. This is now where it could become a real worry for Bayside as far as ending up on the wrong side of a lopsided score. 4-1 the current tally, with Melina Ayres scoring 2 after coming on at the hour mark. Of course, Ayres was part of the talent identification camp announced by the Australian national team coaches during the week. Scoring goals as prolifically as she does will do that. One of 6, I think, Melbourne Victory players that are going to be going up to Sydney to be under the eyes of Leah Blaney, Ray Dower and some of the other national team staff. Of course, Ayres was a young Matilda back in 2016, but has never really been in the conversation for a senior Matilda's cap. I suppose she plays the wrong position. Attackers is the one area of the team where we don't really need more players. If she was a centre-back playing this well, I think she'd be in there already. But it's a very different story for a centre-forward. Haraxis, crunching tackle. And now Johnson. And Vari wants the through ball, but Johnson was trying to send it across the field towards Pickett. Reary. And now Sturton to Fogarty. Her penalty miss that could have made it 2-1 feels a long time ago now. I just wonder how different the game might have been the way the second half has gone. I think there's little doubt South Melbourne still would have overridden or overrun Bayside. It's really a question more of whether or not the desperation of being behind might have done a few things mentally. Ayres to Pickett. First touch, she has to go and chase, and Reary will collect the ball. Now Ramsey. Martinez, the most recent sub. Fogarty. Hassled off the ball, and the pass is intercepted by Lawson. Doesn't see an option that she likes, so it's just going to take it and run. Past Fogarty and past Wong. And Lawson still digging deep, full of running as this game wears on. Steers it back to Johnson. Johnson's going to go for the long shot and fired it straight into the shins of Fogarty. 50-50, and well played Sturton to protect the ball. Katsikas trying to prod it back to Sturton, but can't get there. And again, it remains a half-field game at the moment. It's all South Melbourne in the territorial battle through pass here. Ayres, flag stays down. This is for the hat-trick off the bench. Ayres round the goalkeeper. As easy as you like. Melina Ayres has scored a hat-trick. And it's almost like a cheat code in a video game at the moment. Melina Ayres came on in the 60th minute, and now here in the 80th, she has 3. And so South will make a sub. Very good performance at centre-back today from Chiara Hronopoulos. Not a natural position for her, and Julia Budiongo is going to come on. And I suspect this will mean a bit of a positional switch as well, because I sincerely doubt they're going to put Budiongo at centre-back. It looks as though they're sending Caitlin Pickett into defence to play at right back, and Papatsanis is going to be at centre-back now. 5-1 the current score. Medwin playing it back to Barbieri. Hasn't seen much of the ball. We've got a player down in midfield. Zoe Haraxis is hurt. And now the shouts to Medwin to kick it out are heeded. And they might have made that sub at the worst possible time here, South Melbourne, because looking at their bench... Oh, no, they've still got Alyssa Branson, so they've got one more outfielder they can bring on. I was about to say Freya Crocker, their goalkeeper, might have to play outfield, but no. Haraxis is back up. The trainer is coming out. They've sent Branson to go and warm up, but I suspect Haraxis is going to be able to run this off. Signs are looking good. So 10 minutes of regulation plus stoppage to go. Zoe Haraxis goes over to the sidelines where there's a conversation going on with Samuel Young and the medical staff. I'm sure Alyssa Branson won't mind. There's an environment to come on and make you debut. It's 5-1 up with 10 minutes to go. And your guess is as good as mine. It looks as though Haraxis has been treated and might be waiting to walk over to the fourth officials table and get waved back on. In the meantime, South go on the attack. Medwin has been pushing up that left flank all day, giving Bayside headaches. Plays it through to Anvari, who is offside. And well done by Farrugia to create a block tackle at the edge of the box anyway. Now Haraxis is lying down, still being looked at. Perhaps an ankle problem. So for now, South are down to 10 players. Riri to Martinez. And overhit the pass. No one going chasing after it. Haraxis is now standing next to the fourth official, so the good news is she seems all right to continue. Long ball. Budiongo chasing. Goalkeeper comes out. Pile up of bodies. And the goalkeeper prevailed in the end. Medwin. Anvari. Riri. Ayres. Couldn't take the ball. Now Tash Riri. Trying to get something going for Bayside. Flag stays down. As Sturton breaks out to the right. Has Kotsikas in the middle. And ran it out for a corner. So Papatsanis on her case. And it means that Bayside get a rare chance to keep the ball down at their attacking end in this second half. Molly May Ramsey runs over to take the corner kick. Bayside trying to peg back one of the 4 deficit at the moment. And good header from Medwin, charging through to clear it away. Budiongo can turn and go. Has Ramsey, the corner taker, in pursuit. And Ramsey's done well there to backtrack and retrieve the ball. Griffin. Now Ayres. Oh, it looks like a handball against Burke. And the referee indeed does reach for the whistle. So free kick South Melbourne, hard up against the touchline over on the left side. '85th minute at the moment, so South looking to pile on some more pain, up 5-1. They go backwards from the free kick. Johnson. Pickett now cast in a new role at right back after some of the second half subs. Duong sticking to Lawson here and has done well. Across comes Fogarty to help out. Katsikas doesn't want to concede the throw. And so Fogarty. Attempted through ball, headed away by Haraxis. And well played by Pickett to keep the ball under the challenge of Kotsikas. And now Lawson. Sweeping it all the way back to Papatsanis. Flash of lightning in the background. So we started the day in bright sunshine. We might finish this game in rain. It's a race against the clock, really, to get this game finished, perhaps. Ayres. Papatsanis back to Ayres. And attempted through ball. A bit too much on it for Anvari. Oh, but it's not a great touch there from Farrugia. Lawson, can she capitalise? Breaks into the box channel. Lawson, goalkeeper's back in position. And did enough to watch it go wide left. Lauren Farrugia scrambling back just to occupy that place in goal and force Lawson to shoot for the corner. And she missed. Apparently there's heavy rain and hail sweeping across the city from west to east. So in the 87th minute here, we might miss it. We might get this game finished before the skies open. You wouldn't know right now. Current conditions are absolutely beautiful. Mild May day here in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne. And it's after a bit of a struggle and a bit of an arm wrestle, it's been a good one for South Melbourne. They're 1 goal away from completely repairing all the damage to their goal difference that they suffered last Monday against FE Emerging. Pickett. And the ball runs out. Duong's throw. And Anvari is going to concede 40 metres here and put it out for another throw. And the referee says, don't rip yourself off, Bayside. Come down the field and take the throw in from where the ball went out. Papatsanis. Ayres will turn and chase, but Duong is there to backtrack and get the ball to Burke. Ramsey against Medwin. It's going to be a throw in. Over the head of Ayres. Anvari is going to run onto the ball, though, has the entire Bayside defence chasing, and Martinez was able to steer her off the ball and retake possession. Ramsey. Fogarty. Ramsey against Medwin now. And Johnson. Back to Haraxis, who's run off any ill effects of that ankle knock about 5 minutes ago. A lot of tired players out there now. Bayside trying to keep the damage to 5-1 as it currently stands. Anvari plays it in front of Ayres, but coming across, Lemieux got a vital touch. And now Burke able to chase the ball down towards the corner as another massive crack of lightning goes in the background. I'm not sure if it's getting into the picture of the stream, but take it from me, there is a big, big storm on the way. It's not going to make it here before the end of this one, though. We're not going to have too many minutes of stoppage, I imagine. Medwin takes the throw. Ayres knocks it back to Medwin, who's going to load up and try for glory. And that one goes so far across the face of goal, it's out for a throw on the other side of the pitch. Amy Medwin, who scored a really good goal in the first half. A couple of the Melina Ayres goals might give it a shake for goal of the day. A couple of strikes of really good quality in this match. So throw-in to be taken by Lawson. Looking over at the fourth officials table, I'm not sure if the board has gone up yet to announce stoppage time at the end of this one. Duong, it's been really good since coming on. Anna Duong, maybe pressing her case to return to the starting 11. Haraxis. Ooh, Martinez will get blown up here for the high boot. Sakalis almost tentatively leaning into her header there, so a little bit lucky to get the infringement going her way. We've had one additional minute tick by. Sakalis, here's their time for one more South Melbourne goal. Duong again, defending well, putting it out for a South Melbourne throw. Long throw from Lawson. Reary and Lemieux have their hands full here with Anvari. Now Duong, and her first thoughts are just to hit the line and get it out once again. Lawson throws it to Johnson. Anvari hits the cross. Ayres ducks under it. Knew Budiongo was there, but Budiongo maybe didn't know the ball was coming. And as she turns, can't keep possession. Medwin charging through. And now Medwin in at the near post. And well played by Ramsey to get it away. And after Amy Medwin had a torrid time defending against Caitlin Carrick and Franny Iamano on Monday night. She's come back with a vengeance here today, full of running and creating a lot from that left-back position for South Melbourne. Budiongo down to the corner. Ramsey is there for Bayside. Both teams just playing out time now. Bayside toothless in this second half. Disappointed they weren't able to keep asking a few questions of that South Melbourne defence. They had some good opportunities in the first half in addition to scoring one, and obviously the penalty which got saved. And you wonder just how different a game it could have been had Sienna Fogarty made it 2-1. You suspect, based on the way the second half has gone, that South Melbourne would have run over the top. But 5-1 could have been a very different story had it been Bayside 2-1 midway through the first half. Lawson back to Haraxis. Caitlin Pickett. And now Ayres. As Ayres hits it long, and Vari with a cause to go and chase. And the full-time whistle goes. South Melbourne return to the winners list, and they do so welcoming back Melina Ayres, who scored a hat-trick off the bench. The story of the first half was pretty different, though. 5-1, a little misleading as to just how competitive Bayside were for the first 45 minutes. It was a different story in the second half, and then when Melina Ayres came on, South Melbourne had the extra gear to separate themselves and pull away. Ayres with a hat-trick, Caitlin Pickett made it 2-1, and earlier in the day, Amy Medwin made it 1-0. Rachel Sturton got the only goal for Bayside. So as we leave you with scenes of handshakes at full time, on behalf of our broadcast partner, Sportscast Australia, my name is Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company from Kingston Heath. The full-time score, Bayside United 1, South Melbourne 5.